leadership has said they will move forward with violence interruption contracts to the top 5 scoring vendors that were scored in the most recent contract proposals. Jerry McAfee's group was 6th. That contract goes away. Those contracts go to the full city council next week. We're live in downtown Minneapolis. Paul Bloom, Fox 9.
All right, thank you, Paul. I think our future fraud trial could be nearing an end after weeks of testimony. Salim Saeed taking the stand today, testifying in his own defense. He's a co-defendant of the alleged ringleader of the fraud, Amy Bach. Fox 9's Rob Olsen joins us now live. So, Rob, what did he have to say today?
Well, he's been saying quite a bit in denying his involvement in any sort of fraud or kickback schemes here. This is what's supposed to be the final witness in this very long trial, still on the stand at last check here just a few minutes ago. The opening statements for this trial were 6 weeks ago today. Actually, 5 weeks ago today. The jury selection was 6 weeks ago today. But this is now really coming to the end here with Salim Saeed, who played a major role in feeding our future, getting grilled.
Salim Saeed spent the entire day testifying in his own defense and said he never defrauded the government, never paid any kickbacks. Explained how he became part owner of the former Safari restaurant near Lake Street before the pandemic. The jury then saw these pictures of meals prepared and packed for pickup during the pandemic for the child nutrition program. They claimed 5,000 kids served a day from that one location for months on end. It got so busy, he testified, we had to have officers working, off-duty officers, every day, 7 days a week. Asked why witnesses had testified why they never saw crowds of kids being fed there. We never gave it to the kids, he said. It was the parents picking up the food for the kids. Saeed also testified that the nearby Cedar Riverside area is such a large Somali community that it drove their massive numbers in Minneapolis. Claimed they delivered as many as 2,000 meals a day just to these apartments. Saeed also blamed a former partner, a man who pled guilty right before this trial began, for submitting the rosters that were filled with invented names. On cross-examination, the government grilled him on his rapid expansion. They opened meal sites in St. Paul, St. Cloud, Wilmer, Mankato, all making similar meal claims. They noted his taxes showed he made $30 grand a year prior to the pandemic, and that Safari restaurant had grossed $600,000 in revenue. But from April 2020 till January 2022, Saeed's various companies received more than $16 million. I did get a lot of money from feeding our future, but he insisted it was legitimate. I wouldn't have participated if I wouldn't make a profit.
And that was part of an interesting exchange where Saeed was claiming even before the meal program, they would serve as many as 3,000 meals a day at Safari. The prosecutor pointed out, well, you did that on $600,000 in revenue, not millions. And he said, well, a lot of people paid in cash. And he said, oh, well, that wasn't reported. So this was tax evasion. That brought a defense objection, which was sustained. That brought an end to that. Again, he is set to be the final witness here, anticipating closing arguments tomorrow. Live in Minneapolis, Robinson, Fox 9.
All right, it's been a long trial. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Thank you, Rob. New developments in the case of missing college student Sudiksha Kananki. The lawyers for the person of interest filing a writ of habeas corpus today, seeking to end his house arrest at the resort where she vanished. Dominican authorities confiscating 22-year-old St. Cloud State student Joshua Reevy's passport. His family telling us he's under police surveillance as the search for Kananki continues into an 11th day. Reevy is cooperating with authorities and has not been named a criminal suspect. Midway through the NBA season, a lot of Timberwolves fans were questioning the new additions of Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo.
But after 8 straight wins and with the team looking better than ever, fans are kind of walking back some of those concerns. Lamont Hicks is here, so Lamont, what changed? Why are they so good right now?
Trusting the process,
Okay.
Getting team chemistry throughout the season. Look, when they made that trade, they traded away a massive piece of their team in Karl Anthony Towns, who had been playing with Anthony Edwards and Coach Finch for years. They brought in a couple of new guys, Julius Randle in particular, who was still overcoming an injury. So when he first got here, he was not 100%. But fans, you know how we are. We judge you after one game. The Timberwolves were playing 500 basketball through 60 games of the season. It wasn't until 3 weeks ago where they flipped that switch where Julius Randle got back from an injury, and everything has been clicking defensively and offensively for this team.
It's been good to watch.
Oh, it's so fun to watch. everyone's talking about the Timberwolves now. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, I felt like everyone was excited about the Vikings offseason and what they were going to do at quarterback. Now everyone's pushing that conversation to the side and kind of focusing on the Timberwolves catching up with these Golden State Warriors and kind of avoiding the NBA play-in tournament
Yeah.
spot.
Do they avoid it?
So right now they're the 7th seed. They're a half game behind the Golden State Warriors, but the Golden State Warriors have the advantage in head-to-heads this season versus Minnesota. They're 1-3. So what the Timberwolves need to do, they just need to win. No matter what, they need to win. They have the third easiest schedule for the remainder of the year, while the Golden State Warriors have the 14th toughest schedule. So they want to leapfrog Golden State. If not, they're going to be one of those play-in teams, and then you have to win to advance. So it makes it just a little bit harder for the Timberwolves.
I can't count them out either.
No, you can't. They're doing good right now. Simone, your first year here covering the Timberwolves. Hopefully a fun playoff ride because the Target Center, man, is it electrifying. They're playing good basketball in the playoffs.
I want that. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Timberwolves, you guys are anti-analysts. Let's do it. You heard Simone.
That's all you have to do.
Hey, come on. I don't know, but yeah.
All right.
So,
This summer, splash pads will be packed as families try to cool off.
yeah, there's a fundraiser to build one in Buffalo, and it is all in honor of a little boy.
Severe weather slamming parts of the South and Midwest over the weekend. A live report from Missouri where people are just starting to clean up all the debris.
Girls are trying to touch Matt's avocados. Didn't like it.
Farmer Wants a Wife, season premiere Thursday on Fox.
You know those commercials that show the perfect closet, the one that makes all your friends jealous? Closets by Design made that affordable for me.
Take 40% off plus an extra 15%. 1-800-BY-DESIGN or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. Right now, you can get a 3.49% APR on a 2025 CR-V hybrid.
Get up there.
There are lots of things the McQuillan brothers are not so great at, but they're really good at heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Is your sump pump ready? Make sure it is. Call the McQuillan brothers today to book your $129 sump pump inspection.
Hey, Chris Hockey here. You got no time to see builders and remodelers at the Home and Garden Show this year? You know, to find great deals on home improvements? Well, no worries. They're going to come to you. Take advantage of great home show special savings on roofing, siding, doors, and windows. Like save up to $4,000 off any siding project. Plus, home show special savings and an additional $500 off. Awesome products and prices from the Twin Cities' premier home improvement company since 1952. Call partner our Minnesota Twins. Buildersandremodelers.com. Nobody does it better.
At Nura, we welcome the most challenging and difficult pain conditions. Over the past 3 decades, our team has helped thousands of people manage their pain and resume daily living.
Whether your pain is localized or throughout your body, our team of experts will develop a plan that is right for you.
Our approach is unique because we coordinate advanced high-tech procedures with high-touch physical therapy and psychology services all together under one roof.
It's really gratifying to take someone who's failed surgeries and injections and medication management and to make that life better.
It's only been since I've been with Nura that I've actually gotten the kind of relief I needed, desperately needed.
If you're tired of visiting specialist after specialist and looking for someone to manage your pain, Neuro can help.
Take the first step towards a better life. Call 763-330-1470 or visit neuroclinics.com today.
Splash pads are a staple of summer for many families, and now there's an effort to build one in Buffalo.
It would be in honor of a boy who loved to be outside. Fox 9's Mary McGuire joins us with this heartwarming story. Mary, this sounds really sweet.
Well, Simone, not quite splash pad weather out here today, but plans already well underway to transform this empty field behind me into a place to honor the life of a little boy.
He was an old man in a little kid's body. He loved to play outside. He loved to adventure.
You love to jump in puddles. When life gives you a rainy day, play in the puddles. That's exactly what little Andrew did in his short life. After being diagnosed with a rare and aggressive brain tumor, he passed away months before his 5th birthday. At a gathering to remember the boy a few years ago, family friend Amber Zednick had an idea.
All of a sudden I had this image in my head of Andrew's rain boots sitting on like a fountain or a splash pad, so it's like he forever is splashing.
That's when Andrew's splash pad was born, a plan that's now taking shape near Buffalo's new community center at the remodeled Penrad building.
So much of the world didn't get the chance to know Andrew. They didn't get to know his love for splashing in puddles because they didn't get to meet him.
Splash for Andrew approached the city, and the Parks and Rec Department immediately jumped to the idea. The nonprofit is now raising $240,000 to make it all happen, and the city is applying for grants to help the rest of the park take shape.
We try really hard to keep him in our everyday life. We talk about him all the time, to have something that we can bring to our community that will honor him is exciting.
The splash pad will serve as a way to remember Andrew and serve the city's residents as well.
Buffalo doesn't have a splash pad, so even more reason, because it's something that's good for the community that he lived in, the community that he loved.
Now, the group hopes to break ground here in 2026 so kids can start splashing in 2027. They are looking for more corporate sponsors, though. You can find out more information and contact the nonprofit at their website, splashforandrew.org. Reporting live in Buffalo tonight, Mary McGuire.
Such a beautiful way to remember him. You know, kids love muddy puddles.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things kids will do when they get their first set of rain boots.
And now they'll know the backstory, there in particular, so I love that.
It was great to see clear skies today for all the parades and St. Patrick's Day activities.
It worked out weather-wise. It was a good day, like in years past, right? It's kind of up and down, hit or miss.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there'll be St. Patty's Day and you've got snow, where others it's like brilliant sunshine like today. And you're thinking, oh, what am I doing in the office? Or was that just me?
No, I had a moment.
I'll let you take that one.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Look, you know, today was so unbelievably quiet that as I talk about the next 48 hours, you're going to be like, oh, come on. Let's talk about today. There's an area of low pressure drawing this warm front through, and man, did it warm up. But stacked areas of low pressure here riding in across the northern plains will interact with a very strong north wind tomorrow and source moisture into the north wind, and voila, suddenly we're talking about snow chances. The areas are wind advisories and high wind warnings. The white shading is something we have to talk about, and you know, I've said it for years. You follow the colors, you follow the storm. This, my friends, is a very narrow winter storm watch from southwest to northeast. And once I get you closer, you will notice that it doesn't include the metro proper, but those are some very loose dividing lines. This storm is going to wobble over the next 24 to 36 hours, but at this point, if you were to put a line on the map from Rochester down toward the 3590 interchange, that's about the area, the core of this system, for the possibility, and that's all it is right now, the possibility of, say, 5 to 7 inches of snow here southeast of the metro along the Mississippi River Valley. I think the one thing you'll also notice is what happens here to the north. Zero. Nothing. This is really southeast metro all the way down to La Crosse in terms of the storm. The winter storm watch goes into effect tomorrow night, and it's with us through Wednesday evening. Look at these high cirrus clouds. The atmosphere saturates itself from the top on down. So the cirrus clouds are the start, and tomorrow we'll start to build some bigger clouds right through the afternoon. 62 right now, that wind out of the southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Southwest wind, no snow on the ground. That is a warming wind that results in a gorgeous St. Patrick's Day. Now let's talk about how we get into the change here, late Tuesday night. This is Tuesday at 10 p.m. There's the winter storm watch. Very narrow, doesn't include the whole metro. We'll end up with a very sharp, increasing snowfall gradient from the southeast metro off toward La Crosse. Wind's a big factor into the day tomorrow, gusting out of the north at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Here we go into Wednesday morning. This is a chance of slush. And all day you'll notice this very sharp dividing line between the not so much and the whoa. And the whoa is definitely southeast of the metro. Perhaps a couple of